Mr. Chair, again to NGCP, I would just like to take off from the points raised by Congresswoman Jinky Luistro because indeed, when it comes to control of NGCP, security, sovereignty are primordial concern. Kanina po, NGCP, nabanggit niyo po na sa kasalukuyan, sino pong tumatayong chairman ng NGCP?
Your Honor, I'm holding now the company's GIS for the year 2024, and it says here, Zhu Guangxiao,
So,
Chairman.
Zhu Guangxiao stands as chairman, correct?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay. And then, if we're looking at the same document, can we just run through the other directors and officers? Can you just go read them one by one?
Mr. Chair, I will read the name and the position.
Yes, please.
Number 1, Zhu Guangxiao, Chairman. Number 2, Roberto Cayuto Jr., Vice Chairman. Number 3, Henry T. C. Jr., Vice Chairman. Number 4, Jose T. Pardo, not an officer. Number 5, Ambassador Francis Chua, not an officer. Number 6, Anthony L. Almeda, President and CEO/CAO. Number 7, Attorney Paul P. Sagayo Jr., not an officer. Number 8, Yao Yao Sheng, not an officer. Number 9, Wang Li Jin, not an officer. Number 10, Li Xinhua, not an officer. Number 11, Nanette Nancy G. Bugnosen, Chief Financial Officer. Number 12, Rico C. Vega, OIC Chief Technical Officer. Number 13, Karen S. Ong, Corporate Secretary. Number 14, Ronald Delan P. Concepcion, Assistant Corporate Secretary.
Yes. Okay. So thank you very much. And while looking at the document, Mr. Chair, I noticed that of the 14 individuals mentioned, 4 of them are Chinese of nationality. Is this correct?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And you also confirm, Mr. Chairman, that NGCP 36% is state grid owned. Is that correct?
Mr. Chair, also based on this GIS, the State Grid International Development Limited, 36.30, but there are nominal shares, Mr. Chair, for the...
So 36% is owned by the state grid.
Yes,
Correct.
Mr. Chair.
Yes. And who owns majority of the state grid of China?
That I do not have detail, Mr. Chair. That already pertains to...
Can somebody from NGCP answer this question?
Mr. Chair, for the ones that are present here, and considering that we are from NGCP, Mr. Chair, I don't think anyone from NGCP will be able to respond to the shareholding insofar as who owns State Grid International Development.
Because it is
Limited,
very
Hong Kong.
important for us to know who owns the state grid. Is it privately owned? Is it government owned by the Chinese government? Who owns the state grid?
Mr. Chair, if I may, I think there's already an order for an issuance of a subpoena.
Well, anyway, I am reading an article here that says the State Grid Corporation of China is 91.68% owned and controlled by the Chinese Central State-Owned Assets Supervision and Administration Commission. So can you confirm this? That 91% is
Apologies,
owned by the...
Mr. Chair, I cannot confirm your statement.
Okay.
for lack of knowledge.
Okay, but in any case, can you just give me information on this on the next hearing?
Mr. Chair, most likely we may be able to get a semblance of a response to that when we able to get the corporate documents.
Kasi, ma'am, alam mo, napaka mahalagang malaman natin kung sino may-ari ng 36% na yon o yung 40% na yon. Kung yung ba isang pribadong individual o yung ba ay isang pamahalaan. Kasi magkaiba po yun. Magkaiba po yun. At hindi po ako naniniwala na hindi nyo po alam kung sino po ang may-ari ng State Grid. Para naman po napakahirap tanggapin na sa napakatagal na panahon na kinakatawanan nyo ang NGCP, hindi nyo man lang alam kung sino po ang nasa likuran ng State Grid. How long have you been working for NGCP?
Started in 2019, Your Honor.
Therefore, for the past 5 years. Okay. Anyway, NGCP, next question. 40% is Chinese-owned, correct?
Confirmed, Mr. Chair.
So how was it possible that the chairman of NGCP was able to be elected as chairman when their shares only represent not even half or minority of the company? Oftentimes, the majority shareholders would be able to elect their chairman. How is it here in NGCP, a minority share was able to hold chairmanship of the company?
The particulars, Mr. Chair, I have no information. But as a whole, the board of directors can indeed elect who they want to be the chairman of the corporation.
Understood.
Conceptually,
Yeah.
Mr. Chair.
Understood. The board of directors would elect. Now, isn't it quite ironic that a minimum share, a minority shareholder will hold the highest position in the company?
Mr. Chair, insofar as the composition of the board of directors, the chairman, Mr. Chair, from what I understand, nagpe-preside lang po siya. So, not much
But no.
functions.
Yeah, but regardless, di ba? That's the chairman. 60% Filipino-owned yan. Mas gugustuhin ko na yung chairman ko Pilipino. Bakit ko ibibigay sa dayuhan yan? 40% lang yung kanilang hawak. Can I also ask, Mr. Chair, if indeed Attorney Malyari's testimony is correct, can I also subpoena, not naman subpoena, but request, Mr. Chair, the minutes of the elections of how the board conducted themselves, Mr. Chair? So moved. Mr. Chairman. No, Mr. Chairman, yeah.
Second, Mr. Chair.
There is a motion.
To ask for the minutes.
I'm sorry. So are you addressing that to Attorney Malyari?
Yes.
Okay. So Attorney Malyari, there's a motion duly seconded. The chair in objection. Please submit the minutes as requested by this committee.
Kasi nakakapagtaka lang po, Mr. Chair, na minority share ka kasi lang ikaw may hawak ng pinakamataas na posisyon. Totoo na hinalal ka doon, actually yun ang mas nakakapagtaka. Bakit ipagkakatiwala yon sa isang dayuhan at hindi sa Pilipino? Kung mas malaki at mas malakas ang boses, mas natural na ibigay ito sa mas may malaking interest sa kumpanya. Hindi po ba, Attorney Malyari?
Mr. Chair, again, this depends on the agreement amongst the members of the Board of Directors, Mr. Chair.
Yes, precisely. So anyway, so can we just ask for the minutes of how the elections was conducted among the Board of Directors and the officers of NGCP, just so that we can get the feel of how it transpired?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much. Attorney Malyari, kasama po sa mga opisyal ninyo si Liu Zhangqiang bilang Assistant Technical Officer. Siya din po ang kumakatawan sa operation and maintenance. Tama po ba ito?
Based on the GIS dated 2024, I'm holding, it's not reflected here, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Well, in my notes, he's part of your company. Can you enlighten me, Mr. Mamalyari, when it comes to projects of NGCP, what is the process of approving projects of NGCP?
Your Honor, 1 minute.
Session suspended.
Doon na ano yan, doon na ibenteng, working dogs.
Mr. Chair, I yield the floor to our P&E, Mr. Chair.
Okay, session resumes. Who is speaking now? For NGCP. Ano po pangalan nila? Ano po pangalan?
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Chair. I am Christian Ereño, the AVP and Deputy Head of the Transmission Planning Department of NGCP.
Okay. So, may please rise for the oath to be administered by the COMSEC.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth before this congressional inquiry, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable J. Suarez.
So, ang tanong ko po, sir, hindi ko po nakuha yung pangalan po ninyo.
Christian po.
Christian.
Ereño. Ereño. E-R-E-N-Y-O.
Christian na lang po, okay lang? Parehas naman malapad yung noon natin kaya Christian Ereño. So, Mr. Ereño, kanina naitanong ko, paano po ba ang proseso sa pag-approve ng mga proyekto ng NGCP?
Okay po. So, marami pong process. Mayroon pong conceptualization stage. Doon po pumapasok yung department namin, yung transmission planning. Ina-assess po namin yung...
On that point lang so department nyo?
Yung sa planning po.
Ikaw ang head ng department mo?
Deputy head po. Deputy head.
Sino po yung pinaka officer in
Yung-
charge ng department nyo?
Si Reddy Remorosa po.
Reggie?
Reddy.
Okay. And then, next phase?
Okay. So once ma-identify po namin yung mga kinakailangang projects to address, let's say, yung load growth or generation entry, reliabilities, dumadaan po siya sa... So kailangan po kasing i-approve ng ERC before we proceed with the project. So ang kailangan po naming magawa, unang-una po, ma-finalize yung components, yung timeline, at saka po yung kung magkano po yung project. So dumadaan po yun sa planning and engineering group. May ibang departments po after us.
So, sino naman po yung head ng department na yon?
Sa Engineering Cost Management Department, si Miss Vicky Dolot po.
Sino?
Vicky Dolot.
Okay. Next.
So once magawa po yon, we file it to ERC, and once approved, doon na po ma-implement po yung project. So mayroon pong construction kaming group.
Kaso lang, siyempre, bago nyo mag-construct, bibilihin nyo muna yung lupa, di ba?
Opo, iba rin po yung yung in charge po sa right of way.
Kunyari naman po, na-identify nyo na ayos na yung specifications, alam nyo na itatayo ninyo, ngayon bibilhin nyo yung lupa. Sino naman po mag-evaluate nun?
Yung right of way department po yung in charge doon sa acquisition po ng lupa.
So let's say request for purchase of lands. Yun yung department na task doon.
Opo.
Okay?
So ang kailangan po nila.
At sino naman po ang head nun?
Attorney Ruby. OIC.
Ruby Ventura.
Your Honor, OIC ng right-of-way namin is Attorney Ruby Ventura.
OIC.
Ng right-of-way department.
Who used to be the head of this?
Umalis na po, wala na po siya sa
Oo.
NGCP. Nag-resign na po.
Okay. You may continue.
Opo. So yung pong right of way, before po nila magawa yung sa right of way, kailangan po ma-finalize kung saan ba talaga, let's say, dadaan yung transmission line at saan po itatayo yung mga substations. So yung po, meron po kaming engineering design, under po doon ay yung survey division. So sila po yung mag-check with all the other alternatives, and then magkakaroon po ng final kung saan po yung ruta ng linya or kung saan po itatayo yung substation.
Pwede niyo po kaming maliwanagan, sino po si Mr. Wenbo? Wenbo.
Appointing officer.
Wenbo. Sino po si Mr. Wenbo?
Your Honor, as for myself, I do not know. I will let Mr. Ireneo answer for that question, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chairman, the reason why I ask who this individual is because I have documents here from NGCP addressed to the president of the company from their chief technical officer, whose name is Wenbu. And the subject of the document is request for approval of authority to purchase lands and land rights using the preferred valuations for EB Magalona, Bacolod for a 230 kilowatt transmission line project, part of the Cebu Negros Panay Backbone Project, Stage 1. So, kaya ko po kanina tinatanong kung paano at yung proseso ng pagdadaan ng proyekto at tinatanong kung sino yung mga nag-head ng bawat opisina na yon. Nakakapagtaka po, bakit hindi nyo po pinangalanan itong si Mr. Wenbu? At mukhang si Mr. Wenbu din ang nagre-request sa mga acquisition ng mga proposed site expansion ninyo, hindi lamang dito sa Negros Panay Backbone, pati po sa Las Piñas sa Bote Substation. Pangalan niya rin po.
Your Honor, the date of the document is 2014.
Yes.
Perhaps if we could look back to the our GIS for 2014, perhaps his name may appear there Mr. Chair.
Is it
But
I just find it a little bit how do you say it? It leaves a very bad taste in the mouth. That even to decisions of this nature in a company running basic utilities in our country, such decisions have to be made by a national, Chinese national. Bakit hindi po ba ito pwede pagkatiwala sa Pilipino? Pati po ba yung pagbibili ng lupa? Sila na rin po ang magdidesisyon? Sila din po ang mag-a-approve? Bakit po ganon? Ganon nyo po ba pinatatakbo ang NGCP? Kasi una, lumalabas, ang pinaka nagpapatakbo nito, dayuhan, as chairman. Tapos pati itong mga desisyon na maliliit na pagpapabili ng lupa, pag-expand ng mga acquisitions ng mga backbone ninyo, dayuhan pa rin po magdidesisyon. Ano na po nangyari sa Pilipino? Ano nangyari na po sa Pilipinas?
Mr. Chair, ako ngayon, ang masasabi ko, hindi po ganyan yung proseso. Wala pong Chinese executive or managerial, holding managerial position. So, ito po, 2014, if we may be allowed to shed more light on this, kasi po, hindi ako familiar sa dokumento, Mr. Chair, but, and as I have said earlier, I came in 2019, there can be an explanation for this, Mr. Chair. Pero ngayon, Mr. Chair, wala po kaming nasa opisina ng Mr. Wenbo. Hindi po siya ang for authority to purchase land. Wala na pong hindi po ganito yung proseso ngayon, Mr. Chair.
Tinanggal na nila yan.
Well, you know what, Mr. Chair, madaling sabihin yon, but of course, documents don't lie. And we find ourselves in a very peculiar situation right now where sovereignty is a very sensitive topic in our country. Right now, just across Zambales, where Congressman Jay Kong-hoon represents, we spotted again one of the largest Chinese warships.
Yeah.
So are they actually really in our seas or are they actually in our system? Are they even deciding certain decisions that should be left for Filipinos to decide? These are issues that are very sensitive to me, Mr. Chair, dahil ang maapektuhan po dito ay bawat Pilipino. Kaya nga gusto ko rin po malaman, Mr. Chair, kung papaano po ba ang proseso ng pagdedesisyon at kung sino ang nagdedesisyon para sa NGCP. So, anyway, Mr. Chair, I will leave that point and I will proceed to the next. NGCP, balikan lang po natin yung DOE. If I may, Mr. Chair, I'm wrapping up. Okay. Maybe another, I should be done by around 8 o'clock, so not to worry. DOE, I just want to go back to the performance evaluation of NGCP. Who determines the projects that NGCP should put up? Are we following a power development plan based on a Philippine development plan? Can you please enlighten me?
Well, Mr. Chair, on the hierarchy, di ba may Philippine development plan tayo? And under the Philippine development plan, there is a Philippine energy plan. And under the Philippine energy plan, there's several plans there, which are the different aspects of energy, which transmission, generation, distribution, no? And under the transmission, TDP, no? Meron din kang sinusunod na grid code, which is yun yung Biblia. I think the Power Boys know better about this, or even ERC. Yun yung guide, let's say, of the technical aspects of the grid. Like for example, when Panay blackout happened, yun yung sinusunod in protocols. Now, the TDP is based on is interrelated. So, sinusundan yan dapat yung kung ano yung the trajectory for generation, tsaka yung demand. Now, who prepares that? That will be Transcom, but now NGCP. And then NGCP is supposed to do it in consultation or coordination under their concession with Transco. And then sasubmit nila yan sa DOE for approval, sir. So those specifies already like which projects, ilang
Yeah.
voltahe niya, tapos kailan siya dapat matatapos.
So what you're telling me is NGCP determines their own targets per year. Is that right to understand, Yusek Garin?
Mr. Chair, not exactly unilaterally kasi you have to coordinate or synchronize that with the rest of the other plans. Kaya nga dapat it should have been a practice, no? Na kung sinabi mo na yan by 2020 na 25 ang completion, and the generation companies kasi look at TDP also. So kailangan yan hindi gumagalaw kasi magpapatayo sila ng coal power plant or whatever power plant. They will say na doon tayo magpatayo kasi nandun yung
Ikaw ba, Yusek Garin, naniniwala na dahil sa moving targets yung hindi pagkukomplete ng mga proyektong ito, naka-epekto po ito sa kaunlaran ng ating bansa?
Mr. Chair, yes, Mr. Chair. Because it affects the generation company.
Because like for example, my good friend Congressman Rufus Rodriguez was very appreciative of the fact that Mindanao was finally connected to the Visayas. But when I looked back at that slide, that project should have been completed in 2016. Tama ba yun? Does my recollection serve me right?
Yes, Mr. Chair. I think 6 years, 5 years delay or something like that. Mr.
So
Chair.
finally it's complete. My good friend is appreciative that it's complete, but my God, it's 5 years delayed.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
If you, with your kind indulgence, Mr. Chair, when you have, we have a market kasi, no? That's what we call in sa WESM, and IMAP is the one handling that. So, may variation yan ng prices, and the prices are affected because of these delays, and that can be actually shown by IMAP. They have a presentation on how much is the effect of the delay, for example, for Mindanao, Hermosa San Jose, I think, and also of Panay Negros. They have that on file. They have calculations of how much is the impact on the price of electricity on the generation side because of the delay, Mr. Chair.
Kasi siyempre, alam mo, hindi naman tayo mauubusan ng dahilan para sabihin ng isang proyekto hindi matapos eh. Kaso lang ang problema ang dahilan, hindi nakakapagbigay ng solusyon yun sa problema ng tao eh. Ang dahilan is only a reason. What you're actually looking for is substantial results. And that's what the Filipino people should be holding on to. Substantial results. So, now, on my point, I remember the time when I was a governor, Mr. Chair, and I would just like to end my interpellation. Alam nyo, meron akong dalawang niligawan na dayuhang kumpanya na magtayo ng kumpanya to so, hindi individual. Para pumasok. Diba? So nagtayo na po sila ng kanilang infrastructures. They developed a large area in the province. And only to find out that they couldn't connect to the grid. And for years, they were hoping that NGCP would put up the facility so they could connect to the grid. It took so long a time, Mr. Chair. It took so long a time, mukhang magsasara na po yung kumpanya na yon. So, ang ibig sabihin po dito, kung nais mo pumasok sa energy sector at hindi mahaba ang PC mo, malulugi ka talaga. Meron din pong nagnanais na magtayo ng renewable energy dun sa dulong bahagi ng aming probinsya. Solar power. Natatakot naman po sila mag-invest kasi wala pa po yung NGCP. So, these are questions of development. Now, if NGCP can't improve the service that they provide, which is basic to every Filipino, Mr. Chair, it is only but right for us to review their franchise, to review their concession agreement. Because this is the only way for us to make sure that we're actually getting, the best service for every Filipino, Mr. Chair. So, with that being said, Mr. Chair, maraming salamat sa oras at panahon. Hihingin ko na lang po yung mga dokumento na hiningi ko, NGCP. At sana naman sa pagbisita po namin sa inyong facility. Nasaan po ba yung pinakamalapit yung facility?
Dito lang, malapit.
Yung meron po sa Diliman, yun po yung sa Luzon.
Doon po kayo nagtatrabaho?
Kami po sa in transmission planning, nasa Buona Venture po, sa may Green Hills.
Hindi, dito po sa main facility nyo, sino po nagtatrabaho doon?
Yung system operations po, ang nandun po sa Diliman.
Oo. Can I also request, Mr. Chair, a list of employees of NGCP?
Okay. Please submit the list of your employees.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
All employees.